What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JP on the keys, and it's too easy about the video today. And I got a video that I'm kind of concerned about, and I'm kind of nervous about watching because this is American foods that are banned in other countries. I tell you what, man. All I know is for the healthcare system to be as trash as it is in America, we definitely don't prioritize health. But of course, you can't make the big pharmacies can't make money if everyone's healthy, but health is wealth, people. You know what I'm saying? Health is wealth. That's all I'm gonna say. Hopefully it's not something that I eat a lot on here. I hope not.
Want to believe that the United States is the gold standard of clean food. But that belief may not hold up to scrutiny.
Wait, when you work in fast food, you really understand everything. I'm telling you, everyone who has worked in fast food, you really see the craziness of just how just commodified it is. Like everything is either frozen or pre-packaged. You see, once you start working in fast food, you work anywhere around food in general, you'll see.
Unsanitary practices in mass production to the addition of dangerous chemicals. Countries have good reason to give the side eye to imported foods claiming to be USDA approved. That's right, this week we're talking about American foods that have been banned by other countries. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. Then leave a comment and tell us what other world food facts you would like to know more about. Now let's see how wrong the rest of the world really is. Since the dawn of Skittles, there have been rumors about the dangers of eating them. Every one of us heard at least one classmate claim that the red ones make you sterile, and the yellow ones, they give you cancer. Turns out, it might be worse than that. First of all, your classmate wasn't wrong. The dyes known as Yellow 5 and Yellow 6 have been linked to hives and hyperactivity in children. Sweden and Norway have banned the candies out of concern. The European Union will most likely be banning Skittles at the end of the year, having already swapped out some of the dye for more natural flavors. This is because of something called titanium dioxide, which can be found making the colors pop across the rainbow.
I'm already screwed because
I think I
ate some Skittles like 2 weeks ago.
Which can lead to cancer. While Europe may be ahead of the Skittles awareness curve, America is quickly catching up. In May of 2021, the Environmental Working Group asked the FDA to categorize titanium dioxide as toxic. And yes, before you ask, right now the FDA says it's okay to consume some of that chemical compound. You can taste the rainbow, but just in moderation. California is home to an ongoing lawsuit against Mars Inc., the parent company of Skittles. The lawsuit claims Skittles are not only toxic, but are unfit for human consumption. So maybe for now, play it safe. Just go have some Swedish fish instead.
Bread? Can't eat bread? What are they putting GMOs in the bread?
Ever looked at a piece of crusty French baguette, be it in cartoon or in real life? But let's be honest, it was probably in the hands of Pepe Le Pew, and think, I can't make a sandwich with that. As great as we talk about the invention of sliced bread, a lot of European countries have actually banned much of what you'd find on America's wide grocer shelves. That's because we make a lot of our bread not just with grain, but with a variety snap packs worth of additives. Like azodicarbonamide, for example, which helps bleach flour and strengthen dough. Fun fact about azodicarbonamide, it's also used in a spectrum of industrial products, including yoga mats. Downward dogs. The European Union is really against the idea of its citizens eating yoga mat material and has banned their use in food products.
I mean, pork, I understand pork, because the pork isn't...
Pork, the other white meat, is a staple of American meats, along with
a lot
chicken,
of that stuff
fish,
isn't sanitary anyway.
From bacon to ham, hot dogs to pork chops. American meat eaters consume about 67 pounds of pig per person every year. Soo-wee, my heart is stopping. Don't get us wrong, other nations indulge in swine just as much, if not more, than Americans. So why doesn't the US export scores of succulent bacon-bearing boars? Well, it turns out America adds a lot of chemicals during processing. Ractopamine in particular is used in many pig farms to raise porkier porkers. Ractopamine, which we put a dash of in a lot of foods, has been banned in 160
Steroids.
countries.
Pretty much
which all
steroids.
consider the drug unsafe
Yeah, just giving
for human
steroids to them so
consumption.
they can grow bigger.
This in turn has led to a prohibition of pork exports across the world. The EU hasn't touched the stuff since outlawing ractopamine in 2009. China and Russia have been ractopamine-less since 2013. Maybe that's because ractopamine has the same effects as an intoxicant on humans and can cause tachycardia, headaches, and muscle spasms if consumed in large enough quantities. But it is a small price to pay for a perfect piece of the pork.
Chicken. Yeah, I figured
Hygiene
that.
in America
They put a whole bunch of
often
stuff in the
comes
chicken.
down
I
to
know that.
dousing stuff in a chlorine bath and calling it FDA approved, and chicken is no exception. Pathogen reduction treatments, or PRTs, refer to the use of different chemicals to destroy harmful microbes on raw meat. Somewhere along the line, American food regulators decided a quick chlorine shot was the best way to kill salmonella and other bacteria on uncooked poultry. Chlorine marinade. And look, it's not that the EU is against taking a long gulp from the public pool now and then. In fact, the risks posed by chlorine consumption are relatively low. The bigger concern is that the chlorine baths are just an eye-burning band-aid on a larger problem. The tip of the beak, so to speak. They're worried that the PRTs are insufficient to deal with more than just the normal bacteria and don't get at a potential contamination from things like low-quality feed to unsanitary coops on farms. The EU called the chlorine rinse an easy fix, arguing no chemical rinse will ever remove all bacteria from meat heavily contaminated as a result of poor hygiene. That hurts extra to hear it from the French.
Mountain Dew. Yeah, I'm not a soda drinker. My girlfriend gonna
Mountain
hate
Dew
this one.
is the closest any soft drink has come to being fully weaponized. But did you know in Austria and Norway, the soda is outright banned? That's because Mountain Dew's signature Chernobyl Radiant hue comes from tartrazine, also known as Yellow 5. And if your ADHD hasn't kicked in yet, you'll remember that color and number from the Skittles section earlier. It's been linked to headaches, hyperactivity, and the desire to be annoying to other people. Ironically, the qualities that make Mountain Dew a soda non gratis in other countries is exactly what the brand promotes: a frenetic, over-caffeinated lifestyle. Do the Dew. Baja Blast. Woo-hoo. And while you might be able to find Mountain Dew in Europe, it's going to hit a little different. That's because Europe spent exactly 2 years in the 90s riding the dew before discontinuing it. What is being sold as Mountain Dew in the EU has a recipe closer to the original carbonated beverage, as created by Tennessee beverage bottlers Barney and Ollie Hartman in the 1940s. The original Mountain Dew was meant as a whiskey mixer, with a name coming from the affectionate Scottish term for moonshine. It'll tickle your innards, is what the old ads used to read. No lies detected here.
Yeah!
Facts.
Mountain Dew!
You can't even drink soda anymore because that carbonation. The Little Debbie's, because they put the additives in there. I know they do.
Little Debbie has been providing Americans with comfort snack food since the 1960s, with their variety of zebra cakes, star crunches, nutty bars, fudge rounds, and cosmic brownies. But their big claim to fame, as anyone who has ever
cream
had
pie.
their lunch packed by a parent can attest, is the Little Debbie Swiss Rolls, a mixture of rich chocolate
Ooh,
cake
the Swiss,
and butter
the Swiss
creamy
rolls aren't
filling.
bad. I
Over
like
900 million
the
cartons
strawberry
of Little
shortcake
Debbie
ones
products
are
are
really
shipped
different,
each year,
yeah.
but none of those cartons go anywhere near Austria or Norway. Blame those rascally additives, Yellow 5 and Red 40. Swiss rolls contain 32 milligrams of dye per product, and in those quantities, they've been shown to have an adverse effect on children. And we're not just talking about causing hyperactivity, although one study found that cutting all artificial food coloring from diets may be 1/2 as effective as prescribing kids Ritalin.
No.
While we can't prove there's a direct connection between artificial food coloring and cancer, they do cause damage to white blood cells, causing them to mutate after only 3 hours. Exposure to these dyes could cause tumor cells to multiply way more rapidly. For that reason, researchers say a high chronic intake of food colorings throughout the entire life is not advisable.
Like, what is the
If
reason
only
they're
they
putting
weren't
this
so
stuff in the
delicious.
food, though? You know
Surprisingly, you can buy Little Debbie's Swiss rolls in the EU, but they come with warning labels advising parents of the potential dangers to kids. You know, like cigarettes.
what I mean? Special K, that old woman cereal. Nobody
When you
eats
hear
that
the
under
words
60.
banned breakfast cereal, you're probably imagining one of the countless kid-focused brands of sugary morsels, like the oh-so-delicious Cookie Crisp. So you might be surprised to learn that it's actually Special K, the most boring cereal on all of the Earth,
Oh,
that
God,
has been
most
banned in
boring.
Denmark and discouraged in the EU. How does the healthiest box of flakes on the shelf get banned, while stuff like Reese's Puffs and Cinnamon Toast Crunch continue to enjoy free passage? Ironically, because of its supposed health benefits. In the UK, Special K has been put on blast by the Advertising Standards Authority
Oh, they're
for
lying.
exaggerating how much folic acid they
lying.
pack into portions. Though it's still legal to buy in Europe, Denmark has completely banned Special K since
They were
2004
lying
for
about
all
it.
its fortified vitamins and minerals. Regulators argue that Kellogg's cereal's unnaturally high levels of everything from vitamin A to zinc actually qualify Special K as a genetically modified organism, or
That makes
GMO.
sense.
More specifically, Special K is swole with the same artificial compounds that studies have shown to potentially pose health risks, specifically to children and pregnant women. In conclusion, you may want to stick with Crunch Berries.
Or just don't eat breakfast like me.
You
Steak.
don't need to take a transcontinental flight to visit countries that have banned American foods. Just drive up to the Canadian border, flash your passport, and sign an affidavit saying you're not smuggling any steak tartare in your trunk. Today, consuming raw meat has fallen out of fashion in the US, much
yeah.
like other foods like veal and pate, which don't make you sick but might make you sad. But while baby cow and overstuffed goose liver is illegal in parts of America now, tartare is not. See, while veal and pate may be uncool, they are also served hot, unlike tartare, which is chopped up cold meat, straight from the cow. Undercooked or raw foods can lead to an increase in
Why would you want raw food? Why are y'all eating raw food? That makes no sense. Why? I've never understood this. Why are you deliberately eating raw food? The point of cooking the food is to kill the bacteria on the food. That's the point of cooking it. Like, when people get the steaks, and they get the steaks like rare, medium rare, like, ugh, like, cook my steak, please. I don't care if it's like a barbecue wood I don't care if it's like a chip. I want my steak to be fully cooked. Like, why are y'all eating raw food and then wondering, well, how I get sick? Well, duh. You just, the salmonella is just thriving on the dish because you ain't even cook it. You just took it out the freezer package and put it on the plate. Crazy.
food poisoning and parasitic infections, especially in beef and poultry. But considering how fancy pants steak tartare is, Titanic food,
Oh.
I'd say, you'd think countries might look the other way and let the luxury delicacy slide. And for a long time, they did. In Canada, meat has to reach an internal
Yes.
temperature of 145 degrees
Yes,
Fahrenheit,
you have to,
equivalent
man.
of a medium rare steak, in order to be considered safe to serve. But those rules aren't strictly enforced. That is, until recently. In 2021, restaurant owners in New Brunswick selling steak tartare were all served cease and desist letters. Canadian public health officials had decided that amid the ongoing health crisis of COVID-19, the last thing their citizens needed was a side order of botulism.
Facts. Big facts. Coca-Cola, because they got cocaine in it.
Is
That's
there
why.
anything more American than Coca-Cola? The fizz, the flavor, the former secret ingredient, cocaine. Coke is basically apple pie in beverage form. And it's not just Americans who are cuckoo for Coke. Invented by a pharmacist in 1886 Georgia, Coca-Cola quickly caught on overseas. It was the World War II GI's drink of choice. Pre-pandemic, Coca-Cola had 500 brands in over 200 countries, making it the best-selling soft drink and one of the most recognizable brands of all time. But there will always be exceptions, and unlike the other entries on the list, for once it has nothing to do with health concerns. Everybody knows that Coke is not good for you. We
Right.
just decided collectively that we don't care.
The Coca-Cola company is not happy with me. That's okay. I'll still keep drinking that garbage. Man, Trump is a character. That's all I'm going to say. Man, he is a character.
No, the countries that have outlawed the brand have done so because of what it represents, a symbol of the encroachment of American capitalism. From
Capitalism.
1962 to 2011, the U.S. banned sales of coke to Burma as part of sanctions against the military junta that ruled the country until 2011. It resumed sales in the country in 2012.
Oh, no.
Today, Coca-Cola
We
is
won't
only
sell you no Coke
unavailable
anymore.
in 2 countries with long-term trade embargoes with the U.S. North Korea hasn't allowed Coke since 1950, and the bubbly beverage has been banned in Cuba since Fidel Castro seized supplies in 1962. First the prequels, now Coke. Is there anything that can't be ruined by the federalization of trade taxation? In a twist of irony and lime, Cuba was actually one of the first bottlers of the beverage outside of America. Today, Cuba Cola has replaced Coke as the country's soft drink of choice, though black market sales abound. After all, it is the birthplace of the Cuba Libre, aka the rum and Coke.
M&M's. Yeah. The peanut ones are pretty cool.
M&M's, the delicious melt-in-your-mouth, not-in-your-hand snacks, were originally a collaboration between the Scion sons of the Mars and Hershey dynasties in 1941. Like Coca-Cola, M&M's gained international fans during World War II, as American soldiers popularized the candy overseas as the chocolate that won't get your trigger finger all sticky. But you won't find the candy in Sweden, where it's banned due to a trademark conflict with a popular national candy that also features lowercase m's as its signature. When Mars introduced the candy to Sweden in 2009, a court ruled its marketing too similar to that of the Norwegian Marabous, which resemble Kit Kats. During World War I, Marabou had moved its manufacturing to its Swedish neighbors, where it received a royal warrant of appointment by the King of Sweden. And here we thought the Swiss were the chocolate snobs. Should you want to check out what the fuss is all about, Marabou's is sold in IKEA stores here in the U.S.
I want to see.
Well, at least it's good to know that M&M's don't contain any harmful dyes or chlorine residue, right? That's a pretty important victory for hard-shelled chocolate. So what do you
Oh, that's true?
Which of these
Oh,
banned
oh,
foods sounds
okay.
the
I
most
didn't-
delicious?
M&M's is really safe, I guess. But I know I kind of had a feeling about all this stuff, but health is wealth, man. These systems, they profit off people getting sick. They profit off people not taking care of themselves. They profit off of people just being careless and reckless with their health and their bodies. So just, man, take care of yourself, man. Go exercise, go walk, go do something. Even if your knees hurt and you can't run, go for a walk. Go move, get active, do something. You know what I mean? Because life is short. But America is just crazy. Like, I've eaten like almost all the foods on this list, so I'm pretty sure I got all these dyes and contaminants in my body. So YOLO. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on my post notifications if you haven't already. Check out my basketball channel. Check out my gaming channel. I'm gonna upload on my true crime channel. I know I haven't done it in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna do that by the weekend. But thank you. Please be safe. Stay on the grind. Have a great day. I'm out. Peace.